want them to see. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeola Onicake. If you're new here, I film baking and decorating tutorials as well as cake business tips, vlog, story time, and all of those. And today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be sharing with you how I started my cake business from my mom's kitchen. You know, it's a different thing when you have your own kitchen and you say you start something from your kitchen. In my case, I don't have a kitchen, it's my mom's kitchen. So that's what I'll be talking about today, and I'm going to be like giving you all the tea of how I started from the very start and how I've gotten to where I am today, where I have my own cake studio with a training room and all of those. So if you're here for that gist, definitely keep watching. So it was in the year 2014. I was in final year. By the way, I'm a communicator. I studied mass communication from the Lagos State University. So I was in final year, second semester. I was writing my project then, and then all of a sudden I just developed this love for cakes. Like, I can't explain it. Normally I like to eat cakes, and whenever anybody is doing birthday in my class, you always find me in charge of them, helping them to cut cakes. I'll find one of those pictures. If I find it, I'm going to put it here or here, anywhere. I'm sure going to be on the screen, one of those pictures of when I was helping them to cut cake in school. So if anyone is doing birthday, you always find me helping them to cut cake, because I would be able to get a large chunk, you get, and I just love to eat cakes. Okay, so I developed this interest in cakes. I wasn't making cakes at the time before I went to learn. I'd never baked anything apart from chin chin that I do with my siblings. I'd never baked cake, but in my phone I have like thousands of cake pictures. In fact, I have a folder for cake pictures. I have lots of cake pictures. I have some tutorials. I wasn't baking. I had not even gone to learn baking. So I realized that the love was so deep. And then there was this lady in my church that was doing cake at the time. She learned from somewhere, from Daystar Skills Acquisition Program, you know, and then she told me about it. In fact, she was even the one I wanted to learn from. And in school then, I am somebody that likes to save, you know. And in school then, I had like some savings, and then I walked up to her and said, I would like to learn baking from you. I've saved this amount. She was like, I need to buy some tools and all that. So I saved my money, you know, and I was like, I've saved this amount. How much is the training fee? What am I buying? I've saved up to like how much, maybe 20 or 30k or 50k, I can't remember, but I've saved a good amount of money. And she was like, she will take me to the market to buy things that I will need before I actually start the training. But along the line, she was just back and forth. I realized that she at that time she didn't have like the confidence to take anybody on training, but she couldn't come up straight to me, you know. Unfortunately, the next diet of this app was coming up, so she told me about it, and she was like, you know what, just go and learn from the same place I learned instead of waiting for me, since I'm not ready to hold any trainings for you. So I said no problem, and then I enrolled for this app program. It was a 2 weeks program, and it was in October 2014. Yeah, I remember it was in October 2014. And at the time I was writing my project, I was preparing for final exams. I signed out of LASU on 30th of December 2014. So you can imagine that at that time it was choking, like academics was choking. But because I just wanted to really learn this cake thing, I enrolled. And you know, it was not like we're not in session like going for lectures, but because I was writing projects, you know, you would need to go to school to see your supervisor and all that. So I was going to school and I was going for the training program. In fact, I remember one of the days I mentioned to my colleagues at the training that I was writing my project. They were like, how can you be doing such a tricky game? How can you be writing projects and coming to do cake? And I'm like, I will do this. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And so I was attending. I would go, the class was from like 8 to 1 or 8 to 2. I would go. It was at Ojota, and my school then was at Surulere. So I would go to school I'll go to the cake training from morning till afternoon, you get. Then when I'm done from there, I would just enter Ojota bus and get to school. At that time there won't be so much traffic, you get. I'll get to school, but I would not have to get home really late. But I was really what's the English? I was really determined. Yeah, that's the word. I was really determined to get that training done at that time. So I would go from training, I would have to get home like really late, but I didn't mind. I'll get home late, really late, and that's how I was doing it. And I ended the 2 weeks program. After the 2 weeks program, you know, I needed to focus on school, got my degree done and all of those. So then I already had so much ginger. I even did birthday cake for somebody that October when I finished training, because I was really gingered and I wanted to do a lot of, I was so gingered and I really wanted to take orders. I wanted to do people's cake, even if you're not going to pay me and you're just willing to buy the ingredients. I was just interested in making the cakes. I didn't have any tool. We don't have an oven in my house. I didn't have any tool apart from the tools that were given when I did training, because the way the training is actually like a free training, but you would make payment for your tools. So when you make payment, they'll give you tools, and that would be what you would use for the training. So those were the tools I started with, and some of those tools I still have them till date, you get. So I had a friend then that his birthday was in October, and you know, I was like, just bring 2k or 2014, let me just make the cake for you. I'll use money to buy ingredients. I stressed to make the cake. It was nice, you know. My starting cake was not so bad, because you know, there's something like when you're determined to get something, and I've been seeing tutorials and all of that, so it wasn't really so hard for me to get my hands strong in the cake decorating stuff. You know, the guy did not pay me for this cake, and it was there I learned that never, if you don't pay me, I'm not even going to put on my oven for your cake. That's a story for another day. But till date, till tomorrow, I've not gotten money for that cake. And I never forget. I always mention it when I have an opportunity to mention it, but I didn't get money for the cake, you know. So my sister was having a birthday in November, and you know, I told her, let's make your cake. We went to buy coal pot. We got coal pots, we mixed the cake. I'll put a video of me manually mixing cake, not a video, picture on the screen if I find it. So I would mix the cake manually and all that. So that was how I continued. I finished my exam in LASU on 30th of December, you know. And let me not forget to mention that prior to all this stuff, I was learning hairstyling. While I was in school, I was learning hairstyling. I'm a very handy person. Like, I like to do a lot of stuff with my hand. I can knit, I do paper craft and all of those. So I was learning hairstyling then. And this hairstyling for me came like, nobody taught me. I just knew how to make hair. So I told my mother I wanted to improve on this thing, because I had so much interest in hair. If I say anywhere they're making hair, I'll go and stand with them and be watching them work. So I enrolled with one woman close to the area. Whenever the school is on strike, we're on holiday, weekends, I was always there. But as soon as I started final exams, I couldn't go to the training, and I couldn't go to the apprenticeship, hairstyling apprenticeship, and I just went for cake. So by the time cake started, hairstyling in the mud hairstyling in the mud. So January, I was just there. I wasn't doing cake. We're doing clearance and waiting for NYC call-up letter. February and March, I made my birthday cakes. I made my 2-tier cake. It was my 21st birthday, so I made my birthday cake. This was 2015 now. I made my birthday cake, and I made like 3 different cakes for myself, you know, as a baker girl concept. So I made my birthday cake, and in April, it was my niece's first birthday. I made a cake. In the training, it was just a beginner's training, 2 weeks. They didn't teach us how to stack cakes. As I went to stack cake without the error, the cake was compressing on each other, but I did what I was going to do. Like, I really wanted to do 2-tier cake. I did it and we cut it, and it was nice, even though it was already pressing into each other. So in April or May, I went for NYSC, you know. By that time, I got a hand mixer with the few tools they gave us during training. I got a hand mixer, so I traveled with it. So during NYSC there, I was helping people, like a few coppers. I'll just take a little money, I'll make cakes for them. I was always watching tutorials, and this is what drew me into creating a YouTube channel, because those times when I was always watching tutorials and all those, I never see any Nigerian baker on the YouTube space doing tutorials, and I'm like, this is something I would really like to do when my skills are very strong and I've invested in my skills. And that's why I'm here doing it, you know. Unlike now that everybody is now doing YouTube, then like no Nigerian baker. It was always foreign YouTube tutorials that you would watch, you get. So during service, I was making cakes for people. I was still making hair for people. Then cake has not totally taken over my hairstyling. I was making hair for people, I was making cakes for them. I would take snacks to my office, make chin chin. Even though those ones they didn't even teach me in my training school, it was just cake. It was just 2 weeks program. It was just cake. But I would go to YouTube and learn how to make all that things, made chin chin, egg roll, and all those ones, meat pie. Even though it was not very professional, because I didn't learn it properly. It was just, it's not like you can't learn stuff on YouTube, but you know, when you're picking from different videos and you don't have like a concrete knowledge of it, you get. So I would do those things to sell at the office. I would sell at my office and all that, and I did that till the end of my service year. I was selling cupcakes. My cupcakes were really nice. My cakes were super nice, even though the decorating was not bam, because of course I just started. I was barely 1 year doing it, so not even up to 1 year, few months doing it. So when I was going to finish my NYSC, I decided I really need to get better with my cake skills. So I enrolled for one training there. I think I paid 55,000. That was early bird fee. 55,000 or 45,000 for a 1 week course, 5 days course in Abuja. I was serving in Lokoja, so I went. It was the final week of our NYC. We had not signed out of NYC, you know. Is it signed out or passed out of NYC? So I went to Abuja. I did that training for 5 days. It was like a fondant training, you know. I was like, since I'm finishing NYC, in case I don't get a job immediately, of which I don't even feel like looking for a job, because I'm like, why do I have to finish NYC and start looking for a job like every normal person? I could make hair, I could do cake and all those things. Why don't I just start something for myself at least, you get? Even though my parents then were not in support, but why don't I start something for myself, you know? So I would I attended the training. I paid, I attended. It was nice. It wasn't bad, even though now I realized that training was just big, but it wasn't bad at the time. So I got better, you know. My skills was better. And after NYC, I was even trying to stay back in Lokoja, but it didn't work, so I got back to Lagos. And let me mention that when I was in Lokoja, I was working my sister's oven and all that. When I was in Lagos, I was using my mother's kitchen, you understand. So after I got back to Lagos, I'm a very internet savvy person. Like, you would find me checking stuff on the internet and all that. So I was using BBM. I created a BBM channel for my cake business. I was using BBM, send visits to people, chat with people. I got quite a number of people who wanted my cakes for my BBM channel and all that. I'll pay bigger BBM channels to advertise my to advertise my channels. I would, you know, sub for sub, all those BBM things. Then I was getting business little by little. Then I was making cake for people. I got another smaller mixer when my other mixer got bad. Like, I had a job. In fact, there was even one job I got in Lagos before I got back to Lagos after my NYC, and I didn't have a mixer again. I had to use the money for that job to quickly get a mixer, and then I bought the mixer and I did the job. It was more like the money for the job I used to buy the second mixer. I still have the mixer till today. I still have the mixer. I'll put a picture of the mixer here. It's my bakery. It's a hand mixer with rotating bowl. I have the bowl, I have the hand mixer and everything, and it's working well. It's spoiled, I fixed it and it's working perfectly. It's a Kenwood mixer. So I got that, and you know, I was doing small cakes here and there from my BBM channel. And I just got back into Lagos, and it was not even like I had so much friends before I even left Lagos. So it was just online space that was helping me, and I was trying to get a job. It wasn't working. I'm like, I might as well just start this cake thing. So I was baking the cakes, and I forgot to mention, remember I said I was selling cakes and I was, you know, selling stuffs in my office, then take to the office, snacks and cupcakes to the office. I was working in the university when I was serving. I was in the university admin room. So when students come and all, they buy cakes, you know. So when I was leaving, you know, as per company, they'll give you gifts. Me, I was telling them, buy purple shoe for me or buy this. Guess what they got for me? An oven. I'll put a picture of the oven here as well. I still have the oven, even though it's now bad, but I kept it because I know that if they fixed it, it will be back. It will work again. So they gave me an oven, And it was that oven I started my business with when I got back to Lagos, even though it was still in my mother's kitchen. Of course, where would I have put it? So it was an electric oven, and I would bake with it. But the highest size of cakes that oven could take is 9 inches, and only one pan of 9 inches. If I want to use 10 inches with it, it will be touching the walls of the oven. So any bigger cake, I'll get my mom's big pot, this Adeola pot. I'll check a picture of the pot from Google and post it. I'll get the big pot and I'll put it on a stove, and I will bake my cakes, you know. But if it was less cake, maybe like 6 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches cupcakes, I'll bake it in that electric oven. But any bigger size, I'll bake in the big pot. And I got this order one time, and it was a lot of stress baking. It was a lot of stress baking with the pot and all that. So I spoke with an uncle of mine, and I told him, please, I would like you to support me to get an oven. Remember that my father was not in support of this cake business. He really wanted you to go to school and get your degree and get a 9-to-5 job, you get. So it was not somebody I could go and meet and say, I want to buy oven, I want to buy one. So I went to meet this uncle of mine, and I told him, it was not even like I went to meet him, I called him on the phone and told him, please, I need an oven for my cake stove. And then it was like, how much do you have? I didn't even have any money. I just told him that I have this amount, so he supported me with the remaining amount, and I got an oven. I got a normal made in Nigeria oven, you get. So I was working with that, and after a while, when I got back to Lagos, I'm like, since if it feels like it's this cake thing I'm going to do, so why not just do it? My mother has a shop in the compound downstairs. I just went to the shop one day, cleared everything, packed everything, cleaned it, paid carpenter, make table for me, make 2 stools. What is painting? Paint what? The wall is fine like that. What is tiles? Tiles beginning. I beg, the floor is fine like that. What is fan? Who has money for fan? We'll be all right. So I just did all those, you know. I just did table, work table, at least because it's cake, you need a work table. I just did work table, did 2 stools, and that was it. And I went for more trainings. That was when I got back from NYC. Yeah, when I realized that it's like, it's this cake thing, no 9-to-5 is showing face. So I came back with some money. Remember I said I was selling snacks, I was collecting NYC alawi from federal government. My PPA, place of primary assignment, was paying me 15,000 naira at the time. So I was saving a lot, you know. So I got back home to Lagos with that money, and I started my business with it. You know, I got the table, got the carpenter to make the table, went for 1 or 2 upgrade classes. Then I can't remember the classes I went for. Actually, I went for class to, you know, better myself. I bought a few more tools, and the business kickstarted. So I created an Instagram page. I converted my personal page actually to Instagram page, and I moved like that. I can't remember when I got my first client on Instagram. I can't remember, but I know that I've been selling on Instagram on a steady, and then it's been moving. So I was there, and after a while, I could afford money to paint. Business was moving. I called a friend of mine that was doing painting. He painted the space for me. It was a really cute space, and then cute painting. And then I could do paper flowers. You know, I was learning from YouTube. I made paper flowers, used it to design the space. After a while, I got money for sliding door because flies was really disturbing me. So I got money for sliding door. I did sliding door. After a while again, I got money for tiles. Even though it was broken tiles, I did it, you know. After a while again, I got money for fan. I bought fan. Even though I couldn't buy AC, I bought fan. You know, I just kept on adding stuff to my business little by little. It was not as if I had a fund and I kickstarted, like, bought everything. It was not as if I had somebody who invested all the money in my business. Everything I have in my business, my tools, my machines, were bought one by one. Some of them was bought by paying instrumentally 2 times, 3 times. Some of them was bought by keying into sales, like Black Friday sales, Christmas sales, just sales of people who sell accessories then that are not started selling accessories. So some of them were bought by buying into those sales, you understand. So that was how it started for me, and it kept growing. And after a while, the space I was using, my mom's shop, became really too small for me. I was holding trainings. I could only take 4 people at a go because it was just my long table and 2 chairs. I eventually got another carpenter to do 2 more chairs for me. So it was just that table and 2 chairs. It was not enough. The space was not enough again. I was doing toppers. I went to learn toppers. At the point I went to learn toppers, cake business wasn't really moving. On that day, I was just lying on the couch, no cake order, nothing. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw the advert for toppers, so I went to enroll for the class. That day I literally used all the last money in my account to enroll for the topper class. Like, I usually see toppers online and I would be wondering how these things were done. So the moment I saw the advert online, I enrolled, and that was it. I started making toppers. I started teaching people toppers. After like 1 year of making toppers, I started teaching people toppers, you know. I think I was in that space for like 3 years, and I realized that it was time to move. So we had this opening in my compound, and you know, it's a space that is ideal for what I'm doing and for what I want. So the space is ideal for what I want, spacious and all that. So I got it, and you know, because it's how will I put this? Actually, I got the space, and I paid. I had to pay like, you know, 50%, but I paid, and I've been paying. It's for my father, so you know, it's not like I pay full rent, but like more like 50%, you understand. So the space was just perfect. It's just perfect for what I'm doing, because that's where I am. I have a training room, I have a reception, I have workroom, I have stuff for my cake supplies, I have a kitchen, and the CD's office, creative director's office, in this space. One day I'll do a tour of my cake studio. If you'd like to see that video, just tell me in the comment section that you like to see the video, and I probably will just shoot it for you all. It's not like a gang space, but it's just perfect for what I'm doing. And then you remember that I said I do paper flowers. I transformed my reception, put paper flowers. It was like I saved, and you know, paid the rent, renovated the space, painted everything purple, painted it to my choice color, did everything I needed to do. It was a lot of spending, but it was what I want, and I knew that it was investment for my business, because I will get my money back. So I did what I needed to do, and that's it. That's how I've been in this space for 2 years. Yeah, it was 2 years in August. Yes, I think 2 or 3 years. 2 years in August I've been in this space, and God has been helping us, helping the business and all of that. So that is basically how I started my cake business. My business page is at Golden Pearl Cakes on Instagram. Check us out on Instagram. My studio is in Ogba, Lagos. So if you would like to train physical training, we do physical training, physical trainings, private classes, one-on-one classes, aside the regular online class that I do. Private classes, one-on-one classes are available. You know, you can walk in to place your orders as well in the cake studio and all of that, and it is just what I want. So that's it. That is the gist of how I started this caking journey. Don't ask me where my hairstyling skills has gone to. Like, I can't even help somebody lose hair and not feel tired. Like, I can't even make weaving for you and not feel tired. This skill is still there. Remember I said I didn't learn anywhere before I knew how to make hair. So this skill is an abinibi. It's not like I went to learn how to make hair before I knew how to make hair. I was making hair before anybody taught me how to make hair. But hairstyling in the mud, your girl is a baker. But then I'm hopeful that one day I would have money to open a hairstyling studio and all that. But for now, it's cake baby. It's cake baby. So I'm putting on this t-shirt because it has my brand name, Golden Pearl Cakes. So please follow my business on Instagram at Golden Pearl Cakes. I am on Instagram as Baking with Adeola. And if you watch this video to this point, you're the real MVP. And if you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so that you don't miss out of my next story time. This frame will be all right, so that you don't miss out of my next story time or my next vlog or my next tutorials. And especially you don't want to miss out, because the next tutorials I'll be dropping are Christmas related tutorials, and it's fun vlogs. Next, I have a lot of fun vlogs coming up. You don't want to miss out. Just hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Like, my YouTube is going to be fun for you. You're going to be glued to this channel. You're going to learn a lot, have fun, and all the good stuff. And if you have not seen my previous videos, please go and check them out. I have a lot of videos you can learn from, vlogs, tutorials, business tips, photography tips, and all that. Just scroll down my channel and watch my previous videos. Trust me, you will love them. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you learned one or two things, just give me a thumbs up. If you have questions, drop it in the comment section. And share this video. Please share this video with somebody. If you enjoyed my story, just share the video with somebody. Share on your Instagram stories, share it on your WhatsApp status. Feel free to share my video. Any other videos you watch on this channel, feel free to share with anybody that needs it. If it's a tutorial, feel free to share it on your Instagram story, on your WhatsApp status. I would really love it. I would love it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned up to this end. And this is where I draw the curtain on my story time. I'll see you in the next one. I remain your girl, Adeola Onicake. See you guys in the next video that drops on Friday. Bye.